Our program is about to begin. Please take your seats immediately and turn off your cell phones and devices. And will all of the founders please come backstage immediately? All founders, please come backstage immediately. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, our program will begin immediately. If you are not seated, please do so at this time. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, our program will begin immediately. If you are not seated, please do so at this time. Please clear the aisles so the show can begin. Ladies and gentlemen, the 34th BEYA STEM Conference, co-hosted by Lockheed Martin Corporation, the Council of Engineering Deans of the Historically Black Colleges and Universities, and U.S. Black Engineer and Information Technology Magazine, and sponsored by Aerotech and Boston Scientific Corporation, welcomes you to the 15th Annual BEYA Stars and Stripes Dinner, brought to you by Booz Allen Hamilton, Boston Scientific Corporation, General Dynamics Corporation, Leidos, Lockheed Martin Corporation, Northrop Grumman Corporation, Raytheon Company, SAIC, the Boeing Company, United Technologies Corporation, and Worldwide Technology. Now please welcome the founders of this Stars and Stripes event. They are all retired patriots who continue to serve our great nation. Retired, Brigadier General Velma L. Richardson, United States Army. Major General Ronald L. Johnson, United States Army. Mr. William A. Brown, Sr., United States Army. Mr. Jesse McCurdy, United States Navy. Rear Admiral Stephen W. Rochon, United States Coast Guard. Vice Admiral Anthony L. Wins, United States Navy. Lieutenant General Joseph N. Ballard, United States Army. General Lester Lyles, United States Air Force. BEYA 2020 Service Host, Lieutenant General Walter E. Gaskin, United States Marine Corps. BEYA Stars and Stripes Chairman Emeritus, General Johnny E. Wilson, United States Army. And National Chairman of the BEYA Military Alumni Committee, Vice Admiral Walter J. Davis, United States Navy. Please rise and welcome the Marine Corps Color Guard from Marine Corps Base Quantico and the performance of the National Anthem by Gunnery Sergeant Sarah Sheffield from the President's own United States Marine Band. Ladies and gentlemen, during the following performance of the Armed Forces Medley by the President's own United States Marine Band, current and former military members in the audience are invited to stand and be recognized when your service song is played. Delivering our invocation is Command Chaplain Justin P. Bernard, Lieutenant Commander, United States Navy, Marine Barracks, Washington, D.C., the oldest post of the Corps.
Good evening. Would you pray with me tonight? Most gracious and loving Heavenly Father, I come before you tonight with a humble heart and with gratitude to be in the midst of many giants of industry, technology, innovation, and our beloved armed forces. To simply ask that you would bless us with your presence and your grace this evening. Lord, your word tells us that for everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven. And tonight, Lord, in this time and in this season of celebration and achievement for sure, not only for those who will walk across the stage in just a few moments, but for all who are gathered here and abroad, both past and present, whose tireless work has paved the way for monumental moments like these. We simply praise you, Lord, for this opportunity, for this gathering, for these awardees, and for these moments to reflect and honor our heroes of yesterday who sacrificed much, yet are not forgotten, and trailblazers of tomorrow who are creating a new and hopeful future for our nation. As we gather tonight, Lord, in this amazing venue, we would be remiss if we did not pause and lift to you in prayer our brothers and sisters who are serving at the tip of the spear and in harm's way on this very night. We pray that your hand of protection would be upon them, that your comfort and your grace would surround them, that your wisdom would guide them, and that you would bring them back home to our fellowship and their families very soon. And as we gather, Lord, we thank you for blessing us once again with the food prepared before us and the fellowship that is around us tonight.
Perfect. That was
For
my
it is in your
question.
most holy and
Perfect.
precious name that I pray these things, and all of God's people said, amen. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Now let's meet our United States Marine Corps facilitators for this evening's program. Brigadier General Lorna Malak is Assistant Deputy Commandant for Information, Director, Command, Control, Communications, and Computers. Colonel David R. Everly is the Commanding Officer of the Basic School Training Command at Quantico, Virginia. Please give a warm welcome to Brigadier General Malak and Colonel Everly.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We want to begin by thanking all those who participated in the patriotic opening ceremonies. Let's give them another round of applause. Welcome to one of the nation's largest, most prestigious gatherings celebrating the contributions of active and retired African American admirals and generals from the U.S. Air Force, Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, and National Guard, and senior members of the Senior Executive Service. This is an event featuring the Marine Corps, so let's get ready to get motivated. Colonel Everly and I are your hosts tonight, and we're honored to celebrate Valentine's Day with you.
Thank you, ma'am. To give you an idea of the scope of our military presence and participation at this 34th BEYA STEM Conference, our active and retired general officers, flag officers, and SES leaders are among over the 10,800 engineers and STEM professionals attending the BEYA throughout the next 3 days. The military participation in 38 BEYA professional career development panels with 120 moderators and speakers, with over 475 high school students, which were mentored earlier this afternoon by 150 active duty and retired personnel at our pre-BEYA mentoring event. Ma'am, over to you.
And we're especially proud this year of BEYA, the top BEYA Award, the Black Engineer of the Year Award that will be presented tomorrow evening at the BEYA Gala, being awarded to an exceptional military leader. He is Lieutenant General Bruce Crawford, Chief Information Officer, G6, United States Army. Sir, would you please stand? Thank you, sir. At this time, we invite all active duty and retired military men and women and their family members. Please stand.
Thank you for your continued service. The power of our military is clear. heroism is not limited by race, gender, or rank. A recent event that took place on Martin Luther King Day brings this into focus. For the first time, the U.S. Navy announced it is naming an aircraft carrier after Doris Dory Miller. The 22-year-old African-American mess attendant on the USS West Virginia who heroically leapt into combat during the bombing of Pearl Harbor. Back then, African-Americans were not allowed to handle machine guns or any type of lethal force, but he didn't stop there. Ma'am?
After carrying out many wounded on his shoulders, Dory took over a .50 caliber anti-aircraft machine gun and fired it until the ammunition ran out, without any training on this weapon. The construction of our nation's 12th aircraft carrier named for Dory Miller will be completed in about 8 years and is an historic event for all of us. With the Marine Corps as this year's featured service, we continue our honored tradition of having each military service name a recipient of its prestigious Stars and Stripes Award that takes place after this dinner.
Also, I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the top blacks in military featured in the U.S. Black Engineer and Information Technology magazine. Would all those honorees named in that magazine feature please stand? And now it is our distinct pleasure to welcome to the stage the National Chairman of the BEYA Military Alumni Committee, Vice Admiral Walt Davis, U.S. Navy retired.
Good evening. What a terrific turnout. Thank you to our BEYA Stars and Stripes dinner partners for their generous support, and their names are should be on the screen now. Coming soon. Oh, they are on the screen now. Thank you. Well, now it's my honor to give a special welcome Dr. Tabard and I consulted with protocol and found it appropriate to start by recognizing all the spouses, significant others, volunteers, and staff who gave up their normal Valentine's Day routine to have this special BEYA experience Valentine's Day. So please join me with a warm recognition for those. Okay, now we want to recognize our leadership in the audience. Please hold your applause until all the names are called. First, 4th Congressional District, Maryland, Congressional District, Maryland, the Honorable Anthony Brown. Hold your applause if you would. You'll know why in a little bit. Acting Secretary of the Navy, the Honorable Thomas Modley. The Commandant of the United States Marine Corps, General David H. Berger. The Commandant of the United States Coast Guard, Admiral Carl Schultz. The Chief of the National Guard Bureau, General Joseph Lingale. The Vice Chief of Staff of the United States Army, General Joseph Martin. The Vice Commandant of the United States Coast Guard, Admiral Charles Ray. Commanding General, United States Army Forces Command, General Michael Garrett. The Commander, Air Mobility Command, General Marianne Miller. The Director, Naval Reactors, Admiral Frank Caldwell. The Sergeant Major of the United States Marine Corps, Sergeant Major Troy Black. The Master Chief Petty Officer of the United States Coast Guard, Jason M. Vanderheyden. Now we can give them all a big applause. Now, we wouldn't be here for these folks, and so we'd like to recognize the 3 high school principals that we have with us here tonight. First, Principal of Ballou Senior High School, Dr. Willie Jackson. The Principal of Suitland High School, Dr. Danny Miller. The Principal of Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology, Mrs. Ann Bonitubias. And the Principal of Montgomery High School, Dr. Renee Johnson. Thank you. Well, when you stepped in the ballroom tonight, you stepped into our military mentoring zone, because there is no more important mission for Stars and Stripes than getting our young people involved in STEM careers, because educational opportunities in the military is a cornerstone of the services and the hope of our nation. So mentoring our boys and girls is job one, not just tonight, but throughout the year. Okay, so I guess you're never too old for a fairy tale, especially if it has a happy ending. So I'll share a part of one with you. Once upon a time, there was a girl, and she was walking through the forest looking for someone who could teach her how to code. Eventually, she came to a little house. She knocked on the door, and a big, "Yes, Papa Bear," answered it. "Can I help you?" he said. "Do you know anything about STEM?" she said. "I sure do. Mama Bear and I are retired military, and we work as engineers. So you could teach me how to code?" "Better than that. The military could give you a STEM education. In fact, we're taking our son to the Stars and Stripes mentoring session. Come with us." So they handed her a copy of the Becoming an Engineer magazine, and off they went to the Wardman Hotel. So she's somewhere out there in the audience tonight. But I can tell you that last night I did have a dream. And I dreamed this morning that when I came down to the floor, that would be full of students, all with a goal of a STEM education. Well, last night I came down to the floor. It was a good time. Good thing I gave myself plenty of time, because I could hardly get through that crowd of young women and young men that all are pursuing a STEM education. And then I dreamed in the afternoon that Admiral Wins would have about 450 students for his mentoring session. And I dreamed that maybe he'd get a good percentage of those into STEM. Well, we won't know the end of that dream for a while. But I would like to bring to you Admiral Andy Wins, who will now give you a good report on how it did go this afternoon. Thank you.
Good evening. In our continuing role as leaders, we are proud of our ongoing and growing commitment to mentor and encourage our nation's youth to follow STEM careers. Earlier this afternoon, we held our 10th anniversary mentoring session here at the Marriott. Over 140 admirals, general officers, and senior executive service personnel participated and mentored more than 450 high school and early college students from the DMV areas. We are honored tonight to have many of our flag officers, SES personnel, and students who attended today's session here with us. Also joining us tonight are some of the parents, principals, administrators, and student educators. Will all of you please stand? Don't be shy. Stand. Thank you. If you participated in the mentoring session this afternoon or your administrator, educator, go ahead and stand up. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, 10 years of success does not happen without a team effort. My expert assistance comes from a cadre of hand-selected professionals who have volunteered and sacrificed many hours to make this program a success. Admirals Sinclair Harris and Dwight Shepard, Navy Captains Tom Abernathy, Mike Johnston, Bernard Jackson, and Ed Gant, and civil servants Tony Passant and Joanne Jones round out my team. Please stand and be recognized. Thank you. I could not be prouder of your dedication to such a worthy cause. Now, the mentoring program that takes place here at Stars and Stripes has also become a model for our Stars and Stripes Sustained Mentoring Program that continues in schools throughout the year. If you are a retired flag or SCS, please consider joining Jesse McCurdy and participating in our year-round Sustained Mentoring Program. We desperately need your help. The quality of our mentoring session is a direct reflection of the quality of our mentors who dedicate their time and energy to our program. Retired Rear Admiral Randy Marr is a perfect example of what we look for in a mentor. He has been a dedicated mentor with us since our very beginning in 2011, and he continues today as a year-round mentor at Suitland High School, here to share his perspective on what it's like to be a mentor is Rear Admiral Randy Marr. Admiral.
Good evening. When I was retiring from active duty a few years ago, Jesse McCurdy asked me if I would like to join a group of retired SESs, flag and general officers in a mentoring program to increase the number of students choosing the STEM career. Obviously, many of us have served on the front lines in defense of our country. Let me give you a glimpse of what it's like to serve on the front lines in the schools, educating the youth and encouraging them to choose STEM for a career. It's rewarding. Being in the schools is a very fulfilling experience for me. It could be for you too. The students want to know what's beyond the textbooks and the tests. That's the question they ask us. What do you really do? They ask the same question of the Navy pilot, the civilian doctor, and the NavAir engineer we bring in to talk to them. We all tell them about the many opportunities STEM has given us in our lives and our careers. What about the difficult courses? We tell it to them straight. We all had to take those courses, but we all got through. There's plenty of help out there. All they have to do is ask for it. And it's real. Last month in Maryland Suitland High School, we had a panel discussion, about 35 students and 4 naval officers. The last question to the panel from one of the students was, have you had to deal with racism as an engineer? And they got an honest answer from the men and women who had been there. It's working. At Suitland, we stress taking the ACTs early and finishing strong. Many did that. And last year, our mentees from Suitland received 4 four-year Army scholarships, 6 three-year Army scholarships, and 2 Navy scholarships. So join us. Bring your real-world experience to the young men and women. That's essential if we're going to continue to change lives and build our field. I'm personally proud to join Jesse, Sink, Ashley, Victor, Larry, Dwight, and others who are out in the schools as part of the SMP every year. And a shout out to Commander Robert Clements and the Suitland Rams who are here tonight. You are our future, and I'm proud to be a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. I'm often asked, how do we know that our mentoring efforts are working? Or simply put, how do we measure success? The short answer is, we measure success one student at a time. Here are just a few examples. Natalia Barrow attended our program as a high school senior back in 2014. She competed and received an appointment to United States Naval Academy with the class of 2018. I had the privilege and honor of conducting her swearing-in ceremony on induction day back in 2014. She graduated with distinction in 2018 and today is a surface warfare officer on a Navy destroyer in San Diego, California. Who could forget the sophomore from George Washington Carver High School of Engineering and Science who attended our mentoring session in 2016 back in Philadelphia? He dazzled the crowd with his intellect and wit at our Stars and Stripes dinner, where he proudly proclaimed that he wanted to graduate with an engineering degree and one day make the big bucks. His name is Matt Nagby, and he is now a sophomore at Texas A&M University. He's a member of the Corps of Cadets, and last week, Matt told me that he has decided to pursue a commission into the United States Air Force upon graduation. Kyle Carter is a senior at North Point High School here in Maryland. He has been accepted at more than 14 top universities, and he's been offered more than $200,000 in scholarships. He's looking at attending North Carolina A&T University on an Army ROTC scholarship, majoring in cybersecurity. He's a scholar, tutor, musician, and captain of the swim team. So I was talking to Kyle earlier today, and I said, Kyle, what event do you participate in? And he says, well, I participate in the butterfly event. Now, I don't know about you, but that's a real hard stroke to swim. And the boy's bad. He's really, really a tough dude. He attended our mentoring program last year and again this afternoon. Cal, please join me on the stage and share your mentoring experience with us.
Good evening. A man once told me that goals that are not written down are only dreams. I heard this for the first time at last year's Stars and Stripes mentoring session, and that message has stuck with me to this day. This afternoon, I attended my second mentoring session. Young adults, such as myself, are placed in groups of about 4 to 8. We sit at tables accompanied by active duty admirals, general officers, and senior executive personnel from each military branch. We begin by briefly introducing ourselves. Then the mentors describe their duties and responsibilities in the military and what they do daily. We are given the opportunity to ask whatever questions came to mind. One of the questions that I asked last year was, what does the flag mean to you? The response that I received was that the flag was not the emblem that signifies a nation. I learned that it runs way deeper than that. I learned that the flag symbolizes honor, pride, strength, courage, commitment, and unity. I learned that mastering the little things is necessary in order to ensure future success, and one's success is colored by who you are and who you want to be. I learned that success overcomes uncertainty. The impossible becomes possible for the ones who dare to embrace the unconventional. And the people who surround you in the military aren't just your coworkers. They're your brothers and sisters who share a desire to wear the cloth of our nation, and they consistently push you to be the best person you can be. This afternoon's mentoring session was equally informative and inspirational, and has played a major role in my plans to join the United States Army. Thank you to the admirals. Thank you to the admirals, general officers, and senior executive personnel for helping us dream a little bigger and reach a little higher. More importantly, thank you for showing us what is possible if we continue to work hard.
Thank you, Kyle. Well, there you have it. Let me close by saying congratulations and thank you to our mentors. We welcome more of you in our audience to step up and join us on our journey. To the students, there's a big world out there with plenty of room to build your house. And remember, it requires a strong foundation and the right tools in your tool belt to make it a reality. Thank you all for being here tonight, and please enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the screens and a special message from General Motors Defense.
We are GM Defense, a new company with a rich heritage, bringing more than a century of expertise and experience to the defense and security marketplace to meet mission-critical requirements. We're a technology company integrating commercial-grade precision into military-grade vehicles, breaking new ground in power and propulsion, pioneering advances in automated driving technologies, delivering cyber-secure connectivity, and enabling modern mobility. Leveraging billions of dollars in independent research and development by General Motors, America's leading automaker, GM Defense combines already proven products with cutting-edge technologies, providing an unprecedented combination of integrated engineering on a world-class scale, with low volume production and exceptional quality at affordable rates. Our defense products build on established commercial platforms, delivering value, reliability, quality, and performance, thanks to proven real-world success. Our award-winning Chevy Colorado can become the ground-pounding infantry squad vehicle. Our fuel-efficient Colorado ZR2 can be reborn as the nearly silent, ultra-lightweight, hydrogen fuel cell-powered ZH2. Our popular Chevy Suburban can be reinforced as an up-armored, secure, special-purpose vehicle, ultimately providing the utmost in security and protection. Plus, our advanced lithium-ion batteries, which power GM's electric vehicles and have virtually no thermal or acoustic signature, can be adapted for military use, such as generators on flight lines or emergency backup power. Our batteries and hydrogen fuel cells can support stealthy ground vehicles, high-endurance unmanned underwater systems, and adaptable mobile power solutions. It's how we can deliver cyber-resilient leader-follower solutions so that a single driver can safely lead an entire convoy of highly automated vehicles on the battlefields of the future. A future where mobility is limitless. GM Defense. On land, at sea, in the sky, at home or abroad, wherever military and security personnel go, GM Defense will be there. GM Defense.
Please welcome to the stage the Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of United Technologies Corporation, Gregory Hayes.
Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to be here. I think I better go to my Chevy dealer and see if I can find some of those trucks, though. It really is an honor to be here representing the 240,000 employees of United Technologies. I want to thank all of those who have served or are currently serving in our armed forces and the senior executive service. Service members, veterans, and your families, you give so much to protect our great nation, and we are truly grateful for your sacrifice and your service. As the military community works to defend and protect our country, we at UTC are honored to deliver innovative, mission-critical, battle-proven technology. We're especially proud to support the Joint Strike Fighter program. We're powered by Pratt & Whitney's F-135 engine, the world's most advanced fighter engine. Beyond engines, though, we also supply everything from ejection seats, which we hope you never have to use, to advanced avionics, communications, along with a host of other products and services. All this allows us to support the full spectrum of the Marine Corps' combat operations. It's a privilege to pay tribute to the Marine Corps this evening. Marines take on some of the most toughest challenges, and they never back down. Semper Fidelis. As we celebrate tonight's honorees, I reflect on General Frank Emmanuel Peterson, a man who embodied the fighting spirit of the Marines and most of you have never heard of. He joined the Navy in 1950, shortly after the integration of the armed services. And interestingly, he aced his Naval Vocational Aptitude exam. His recruiter, upon seeing his results, suggested that he could be a great steward in the Navy. He, of course, had other ideas. And in 1951, he entered the Naval Aviation Cadet Program. And in 1952, he became the Marines' first African-American aviator, and eventually the Marines' first African-American Marine Corps general. General Peterson is truly a pioneer in aviation, and he had a passion for flight. As we researched this, it was interesting to see that one of the first aircraft he flew was an F-6F Hellcat, powered by a Pratt & Whitney engine. It's a man also, of course, who charted his own course. I and the employees of UTC are grateful for the service and enduring legacy of General Peterson. Now, as we know, there are many different challenges facing our nation. And one that is in the forefront for United Technologies is how do we prepare for the next generation of innovation? Innovation is what drives success in our business over the long term, and more than ever, we need the talent and expertise of the engineers in this room to support the next generation of innovation. In just a few short weeks, United Technologies will merge with Raytheon, strengthening our ability to invest and innovate to develop new technologies that can keep our country and our allies safe. The future Raytheon Technologies will employ about 180,000 people, 60,000 of them engineers, focused on innovating for the future. We're thrilled to partner with BEYA and to inspire and to develop future leaders and the next generation of our great workforce. On behalf of United Technologies, we're honored to join in tonight's celebration, recognizing the selflessness of the women and men of our armed forces and the mentor who inspires students to pursue STEM careers. Once again, thank you for your leadership, your service, and your sacrifice. Enjoy your dinner. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, now please watch the screens for an important message from SAIC.
We are integrators. We are problem solvers. We combine determination, talent, and partnership to bring the right solutions to the most vital missions. Today, we offer a wider breadth of capabilities in the most advanced application areas. In every domain, from the sea to the land, to cyber and outer space, we are there to help you see even more, do even more, and bring even more innovation to bear on the world's most important missions. That's ingenuity from every angle. That's the power of SAIC, redefining ingenuity.
Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy your dinner. right here as well. We want to celebrate Valentine's Day with a very special performance. Award-winning vocalist Paula Campbell recently collaborated with Neo to make the no-nonsense, man-checkin' beat balladry, Ain't Nobody Stupid, and won the Glamour Magazine Music Contest, where superstar Sierra directed Paula's first video. Says Neo, "The songs I did for Paula were written for her, with her vocal style and personal swagger in mind. She is the voice of every woman." Ladies and gentlemen, here is our Stars and Stripes Valentine for you. Please welcome Paula Campbell.
Good evening, everyone. I'm glad to be here. I hope you guys are enjoying everything. I'm just gonna give you a little bit of entertainment for the night. Is that all right? Is that all right? All right. Happy Valentine's Day. Funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks are laughable, unphotographed, yet you're my favorite love of all. Is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little bit weak when you open it to speak? Are you smart? Don't you change your hair for me? Not if you care for me. song is called Champion. It's available on iTunes, anywhere you can download music. I hope someone is encouraged by it. When I wrote it, it was because I needed some encouragement. It's called Champion, Paula Campbell. You are not alone, even when you think you are. When your world comes crashing down, gotta build your way out. And you gotta keep focused, 'cause the doors will surely open again. Look to faith and be inspired. You're a courageous
It's my life,
and I will fight
until the end, 'cause I'm a champion, and victory is mine. How God designed for me to win, 'cause I'm a champion.
You gotta be brave, even when the odds stack up against you, even when your back's against the wall, even when you have no one to call. Again, have faith. Just know you're not the only one. Keep striving with the heart of a lion, a courageous warrior.
I will fight
Until the end.
until the end,
I'm a champion.
'cause I'm a champion,
I'm a champion.
and victory is mine. 'Cause that's how God designed for me to win, 'cause I'm a champion. It's no mistake how far you've come.
Keep pushing.
You're not done. Be fearless of your future.
It's no mistake how life can change. Don't regret the growing pains.
They make you wiser.
You're a courageous
It's my
warrior.
And I will fight until the end,
Until the end.
'cause I'm a champion,
I'm a champion.
and victory is mine. 'Cause that's how God designed for me to win, 'cause I'm a champion. It's
The
my
race is not given to the swift or
And
the
I
strong,
will
but to
fight
those who endure. Just hold
until the
on.
end, 'cause I'm a champion, and victory is mine. 'Cause
That's how God designed for me to win. 'Cause I'm a champion, and you're a champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, our program will begin momentarily, but we don't want you to miss a single moment of BEYA's stimulating experience. So be sure to download your BEYA conference app and stay updated in real time on everything that's taking place during our time together. Search Career Communications Group in the Google Play Store or Apple Store. Also, remember to tune into BEYA TV in your Marriott hotel room on Channel 59 and in your Omni hotel room on Channel 77 for the best in inspiring programming from the nation's top companies and organizations. And because we know you're never too young to learn about STEM, CCG launched its Becoming an Engineer, a practical and creative guide to planning a career in engineering. This career guide introduces young readers to the exciting world of engineering. Contact CCG to see how they can customize the publication so it looks like you created it for your school, community, or other target audience, and deliver your cost-effective messaging in this high-impact magazine that's a keeper. Ladies and gentlemen, to continue our program, please welcome to the podium the President and Chief Executive Officer of Boeing Defense, Space and Security, The Boeing Company, Leanne Carrot.
Good evening. In 1942, a young engineering student answered the call to serve and enlisted in the U.S. military. Training to be an aviator, he went on to fly over 400 combat missions across 3 worlds: World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. Charles McGee was a member of the Tuskegee Airmen, our nation's first black military aviators. And you've probably seen a lot of him recently. Now 100 years old, he helped the Air Force unveil the T-7 Red Hawk aircraft just last fall. A few weeks back, he participated in the Super Bowl coin toss. And at this year's State of the Union, he received a much-deserved promotion to Brigadier General. When he joined the military at the age of 22, General McGee likely didn't understand the impact of his legacy today. His story is so inspiring to me, and I'm certain to all of us gathered here tonight. Tonight's honorees are carrying on that legacy with their mentorship of others, support of diversity, and advocacy for STEM education. For all of you who are here this evening, you may never fully realize the impact of what you are doing every day, but we are so very grateful for your service to this nation and your leadership. Congratulations to the Stars and Stripes awardees. Thank you, and have a lovely evening.
Please welcome to the stage the Chairman of the Board and Chief Executive Officer of Raytheon Company, Dr. Thomas Kennedy.
Good evening. On behalf of the BEYA Alumni Association, it is my honor to welcome you all to the 15th Annual Stars and Stripes Dinner. As you know, each year, a different service is featured at the Stars and Stripes Dinner. Tonight, we're proud to salute the United States Marine Corps. Since 1775, the brave men and women of the Marine Corps have been known around the world as the fighting force prepared to win, whether in the air, on the ground, or on the sea, wherever the battle takes them. Semper Fi. In addition, I want to thank the active and retired members of all our military branches who are here tonight, as well as those who are protecting our freedoms abroad. As an Air Force veteran, I understand what a momentous decision it is to step forward to put on your nation's uniform. That decision to do so is often driven by a sense of service, a willingness to lead, and the desire to be part of something bigger than oneself. Thank you all for your service, your sacrifice, and your leadership on behalf of our great country. This year's BEYA conference theme is Become One of Us. Unleash your potential for a world of significant change. For many of us, it was the armed services that provided us the pathway to unleash our full STEM potential. Service members received firsthand experience working with some of the world's most sophisticated technologies, from radars, sensors, satellite systems, to jets, tanks, and aircraft carriers. For some, including me, the armed services provided a way to pay for college, earn a degree, and prepare for a rewarding career in the STEM field without the burden of a school loan for the rest of my life. So for the parents out there in the audience who have students or students-to-be in college and are looking for a great way to pay for that college and ensure a job after that college, I highly recommend you investigate the service academies and also the services ROTC programs out there. And as a business leader, I can testify to the value veterans bring to technology-focused companies. For example, at the Raytheon Company, 18% of our workforce are veterans. Over 12,000 vets work for the company. As the theme of the conference indicates, our world is constantly changing around us. To me, the pace of technological change is accelerating exponentially. This is being aided by breakthroughs in fields such as additive manufacturing, nanotechnology, quantum computing, artificial intelligence and machine learning, robotics, hypersonics, and cybersecurity. Now, the long-term security and prosperity of our nation depends on having a strong, diverse STEM workforce. We need a STEM workforce made of people of all backgrounds, capable of looking at problems from different angles and coming up with the best possible innovative solutions. That's how we will achieve our full potential as a nation. Thank you to BEYA for all you do to inspire the next generation of STEM talent. By working together, we can turn a world of significant change into a great opportunity for all of us. Thank you, and have a great evening.
Now, please welcome to the stage the Chief Executive Officer of Northrop Grumman Corporation, Kathy Warden.
Good evening. It's truly my pleasure to be back with you again at the Stars and Stripes dinner this evening. This evening's really an opportunity for us to recognize the men and women of our armed services who protect our way of life. We thank you for your extraordinary service to our country, and tonight, of course, we pay special tribute to our colleagues from the U.S. Marine Corps. The Northrop Grumman team is proud and honored to support you in your service to our country. Tonight's dinner is a testament to the important work that is going to happen over the next few days. And I want to thank Tyrone Tabor and the entire Career Communications team for their tireless efforts in organizing these events that help us to recognize our colleagues. I've asked one such gifted Northrop Grumman employee and former astronaut to join me on the stage tonight. Robert Kirby, who holds the record for the most spacewalks in a single shuttle mission. Like so many, Bob stands on the shoulders of those who came before him. One such individual is the first African-American astronaut to be selected for any national space program. Former Air Force Major Robert Henry Lawrence Jr., and he was recently named after our NG-13 Cygnus aircraft, which will be shortly headed to the International Space Station. We wanted to honor Major Lawrence for his significant contributions to our space program and recognize all those who now stand on his shoulders. So Bob, I've asked you to just share a few comments about what he and others who have come before you have meant to you.
So thank you, Kathy, and thank all of you for letting me speak here at BEYA. I was very, very fortunate throughout my career to have various positive role models who helped me realize just how good that career could be if I just applied myself. I was blessed to have people like Colonel Guy Bluford, General Bolden, and Dr. Bernard Harris blaze a trail that in many cases I merely walked along and tried to expand it further when I had the chance. So I look forward to seeing many others surpass my accomplishments and clear the way to blaze new trails and to pioneer frontiers that we may not have even imagined yet. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. I hope all of you are as inspired as I am to know that the work we do here together is making a difference in the lives of the next generation of students. And I look forward to honoring all of our awardees tonight who will equally be important role models for those who will come behind them. Thank you and enjoy the evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back Brigadier General Lorna Malek and Colonel David R. Everly.
Okay, how was dinner? All right, I think if it was any good, I want to hear a big hurrah. Okay, so we're back here to the main event. And the recipients of the Stars and Stripes Award are chosen by their respective service.
Okay, before we begin our Stars and Stripes Award ceremony, what we'd like you to do is please watch the screens for the message from our featured service, the United States Marine Corps. Hoorah!
The battle to keep our nation and its people safe has changed. Our world has become more dangerous and more unpredictable, and those who seek to cause harm and destruction take that opportunity all too often. But America has a powerful response. America has its Marines, a naval expeditionary force in readiness, extremely adaptable and agile, prepared to operate inside contested maritime spaces, built to win our nation's battles and create order from chaos, anytime, anywhere. The Fleet Marine Force is forward deployed and forward postured, deterring potential adversaries and safeguarding key maritime terrain. We are first on the scene, first to help, first to contain a brewing crisis, and if required to do so, first to fight. We work and fight in partnership with the Navy, which makes us instantly mobile, amphibious, and lethal. And our self-sustained forces are able to keep peace, bring aid, or take the fight anywhere on the planet for as long as it takes to buy time, create decision space, or enable our larger joint forces. We are flexible, scalable, and we practice warfare that outmaneuvers adversaries and exploits vulnerabilities. But a force like this is about more than mobility or equipment. It's about Marines. Recruiting and retaining the very best defines who we are. We seek selfless young men and women of character and virtue and challenge them to earn our title. Marines themselves are the greatest weapons in our arsenal, each polished and capable, battle-tested, determined to win.
You must give 100% of yourself at all times.
And never quit or give up.
Steeped in our core values of honor, courage, and commitment, Marines bring moral, physical, and intellectual strength to every situation. And when their time in uniform is done, they use those qualities to continue to serve their communities. But before Marines can ever fight our battles, they learn to work together to overcome doubt, fear, and weakness, and become capable of making smart and decisive combat decisions. It's a special skill honed across more than 240 years of defending this nation, and it's made the Marine fighting spirit legendary. Strategic environments are changing, characterized by evolving technologies and a fight for accurate information. It's a chaotic environment that calls for a next-generation approach. As the world's premier naval expeditionary fighting force, we operate across air, land, sea, and cyberspace. Embracing information environment operations and integrating as part of the combined joint force, Marines bring unmatched combined arms capability. From the great battles of the past and to those ahead that will surely test our nation, the Marines exist now and have always existed for a singular purpose: to fight and to win. And as our world becomes more complex, we'll continue to build a fighting force that can counter every threat to our country. This is your Marine Corps. These are your Marines.
I think every person under the age of 18 in this room should want to sign up right now. I'm just saying. So, on behalf of the featured service, the United States Marine Corps, it's my honor to introduce this evening's host. He's a Marine. He served for 39 years. He commanded at every level, including a Marine division in combat. He finished his military career as the chairman and the deputy chairman of the Military Committee in NATO. And he was BEYA Stars and Stripes Award winner. He's currently the CEO of Laporte Technologies Defense, a leading engineering technical development plant supplier. Please welcome to the stage General Walter E. Gaskins, United States Marine Corps.
Hoorah, hoorah. Okay, let's get fired up. Marines have landed. I am very happy to be here today to introduce my friend and comrade and battle buddy. But before I introduce him, I want to be able to thank Miss Donna, his wife, for allowing him to be with us on your date night to share with us the Commandant of the Marine Corps. Thank you so much, Donna. I've watched you over the years. What you've brought to the spouses of our Corps when we were home and deployed has been absolutely amazing, and you continue to do that job, and we really thank you. It's an honor for me to introduce the Commandant of the Marine Corps, not only because of the fact that he's a great friend and comrade, but because as of July the 11th, he became the Commandant of all the United States Marine Corps. You see, General Berger graduated from Tulane University as an engineer and was commissioned as an infantry officer in 1981. General Berger is a strategic leader who has commanded at every level. He's commanded every major lethal formation that the Corps has to offer. He's commanded the 1st Marine Division in Operation Enduring Freedom. He commanded the 1st Marine Expeditionary Force. He has commanded the Marine Forces Pacific, and he's commanded the Combat Development Center in Quantico, Virginia, where we do our combat integration and build the future leaders of tomorrow. General Berger's lifetime commitment to education has made him one of the Corps' greatest advocates for diversity and inclusion, developing STEM talent, and assuring that our best and our brightest Marines will forge the path ahead. Because of his commitment to excellence, the Corps will be ready when our nation says, as she always has, send in the Marines. There's no final leader, warrior, or Marine whose commitment to brave men and women of our Corps than Dave Berger. And he exemplifies this year's theme for BEYA, Become One of Us. So please join with me in giving him a warm Stars and Stripes welcome to the 38th Commandant of the United States Marine Corps. Hoorah! Hey, Dave.
Green wave, that's right, exactly right. Actually, I feel pretty comfortable in this crowd because I am a survivor of the mechanical engineering program at Tulane University. Thank you very much. Which only means that I wasn't smart enough to survive the electrical engineering program at Tulane. One other observation before I get going. I have worked directly for General Gaskin and also for Admiral Wins. And I just tell you, I don't remember them being that nice to me when I worked for them. Then you become the Commandant of the Marine Corps and they're your best friend, and it's like a whole nother world. The difference between a good officer and a poor officer is about 10 seconds. In 1943, the Japanese Navy was very strong. And there was a U.S. Navy officer named Arleigh Burke who had just taken command. Later on would become a more senior leader in the Navy, but at that point, he was a commander. In 1943, he was no ordinary leader. He was commissioned out of the United States Naval Academy. And the Navy sent him then to University of Michigan to earn a master's degree in chemical engineering, all before 1943. Well, his statement about 10 seconds, here's how he came about that. He was an engineer, so he analyzed 3 intersecting variables. First, the Japanese had a new torpedo, a Type 93 torpedo. It was called the Long Lance, first variable. Second variable was the new U.S. Navy radar called Sugar George, for those of you all who are history buffs. And the third variable was human, was the ability of his leaders to make quick decisions. The Long Lance torpedo, the Japanese torpedo, was impressive. 30 feet long, swam 52 knots, could outmaneuver anything that we had. It ranged 20 miles. Had a warhead on the end of it in excess 1,000 pounds. Torpedo. It, in our vernacular in the military, outsticked what we had. Swam farther, swam faster, maneuvered better than our torpedoes, which at that time, I think, were the Mark 15. That would have put our ships at a big disadvantage in 1943, except for one thing, and Arleigh Burke knew the one thing, and that was the U.S. Navy's radar. Because the difference was that the U.S. Navy's radar could reach out to 15 nautical miles. And the Japanese, although they had a torpedo that could swim 20, did not have the ability to find our ships that far. So Arleigh Burke, being the engineer, knew that the radar would give us an advantage, but that advantage was going to be less than 10 seconds. Because within those 10 seconds, then the Japanese ships would close in and there would be no more advantage. The Sugar George could see out to 15 miles. But he also knew that that advantage that we had technologically, which engineers developed, would only work if his subordinate leaders could make the right decision in less than 10 seconds. So what has that got to do with all of us in the room this evening? I would offer perhaps 3 things just to consider. First, engineering. More importantly, engineers. They made a difference in 1943. It's why we had an advantage. They make a difference in 2020. It's why we have an advantage. Second, if in 1943 it was 10 seconds, I reckon it's less than 10 right now. Perhaps 4, 5 seconds. Things happen faster today than they did in 1943. Somewhere less than 10. Third part, and most of the senior leaders in this room know where I'm going with this. Good engineers are technically competent. Great engineers, great mathematicians, great scientists are able to translate that technical capability into something that makes a difference. That can change the world. I believe that the black engineers, the scientists, the mathematicians in this room tonight, the ones with a STEM background, not only could help us in the future, we need them to help us win in the future. 10 seconds or less. It can all come down to 10 seconds or less. We need those students in this room. We need you to make sure that in those 10 seconds, that leader has the capability that they need to make the right decision at the right time. 10 seconds. Each one of you in this room that we're recognizing tonight can change the world. And we need you to change the world. 10 seconds. Thanks to everybody here tonight from industry. You sponsor us, make this evening possible. Thanks to all the academicians that look out after our students. Thanks to the mentors. And a congratulations to each and every recipient this evening. You have earned the recognition that you're going to receive. Semper Fidelis. It's my honor this evening to introduce the U.S. Marine Corps recipient of the 2020 Stars and Stripes Award, Lieutenant Colonel Nicholas M. Pomaro, as he walks to the stage accompanied by his spouse, Nancy. Let me tell you a little bit about him. While serving as executive officer of the Assault Amphibious School, which for us is out at Camp Pendleton, California, Lieutenant Colonel Pomaro's exceptional vision, positive influence, and unparalleled devotion to duty provided thousands of young men and women with a benchmark example of the mindset and character that our Corps demands. He expertly developed and implemented a comprehensive strategy to improve performance, reduce the risk of complacency, and increase the quality of instruction by focusing on ethical culture, leadership development, and warfighting. He set out to ensure every member recognized the significance of the school's position as the students' last stop in the training continuum before they joined the Fleet Marine Force, and instituted a plan that provided every Marine with the tools to improve their leadership, their coaching, and their mentoring skills. And I'm very proud to present this award this evening to Lieutenant Colonel Nicholas M. Pomaro. Now it's my honor to introduce the staff non-commissioned officer recipient of the 2020 Stars and Stripes Award, Sergeant Major Robin Fortner, as she walks to the stage accompanied by her daughter, Kiana. Throughout her career, Sergeant Major Fortner has held numerous leadership positions, including Director of the Camp Lejeune Staff Non-Commissioned Officer Academy, where she served until she transitioned to Marine Corps Systems Command as the Sergeant Major in January 2018. Her selfless service, professionalism, and leadership in support of STEM outreach at MAR Corps Syscom has had an enduring impact on the command's mission and continues to help mold our future by championing the importance of education across our acquisition workforce and the local community. Through partnership with the Department of Defense education activity and proactive engagement with students, their families, and our acquisition workforce, she bridged the gap across a wide and diverse community, providing thought-provoking insight into how their interest in technology, cyber, and engineering directly impact systems and equipment fielded to our nation's Marines. And I am proud to present this award to Sergeant Major Robin Fortner. I'm now honored to introduce the SES recipient of the 2020 Stars and Stripes Award, Ms. Renata Spinks, as she walks to the stage. As the Cyber Technology Officer at United States Marine Corps Forces Cyberspace Command, Ms. Spinks provides direct support to the Commanding General, leading highly complex and unprecedented problem sets for offensive and defensive cyberspace operations within the Marine Corps Enterprise Network and the Department of Defense Information Network. She brings a unique set of skills to the Corps with almost 20 years of combined military and civilian service experience. As a U.S. Army 44th MedCom combat veteran with expertise in computer forensics, healthcare information systems, and cybersecurity operations and risk management, she designed and engineered systems used in the financial and investigative arms of the federal government and the intelligence community. Among previous responsibilities, Ms. Spinks was a senior advisor at the Internal Revenue Service, acting chief technology officer at Millennium Challenge Corporation, U.S. State Department, and special assistant to the chief technology officer at U.S. Treasury Office of Financial Research. And I am proud to present this award to Ms. Renata Spinks.
So to present the next award is the Acting Secretary of the Navy, the Honorable Thomas B. Modley.
Thanks, Colonel. Thanks, everyone, for being here tonight. lot of discussion about mentoring today, and mentoring is really important, and particularly for some of the young people here tonight, a little bit of mentoring from me. If you plan in your remarks to tell a story about World War II, make sure you don't follow the Commandant of the Marine Corps. Step two, another little piece of advice, reminded of a story that John F. Kennedy told when he went to Paris for the first time. I believe it was in 1962. And he went to Paris, and he had Jacqueline Kennedy with him. And despite the fact that he was this young and vibrant president who made a big splash, his wife, Jacqueline Kennedy, made an even bigger splash in his visit to Paris. And as he was leaving Paris, he said, "I will forever be remembered as the man who escorted Jacqueline Kennedy to Paris." So tonight, I'd like to say that I will forever be remembered as the man who escorted Robin Modley to the BEYA Stars and Stripes dinner, my wife over there. Now, for the young people, why that's an important piece of mentoring is because that's how you get out of trouble when you ask your spouse to attend a work event on Valentine's Day. I had a really good day today. I had an opportunity to go down to OCS and see the Marines training, and then spend some time with NCIS agents, and then I went up to Bethesda, to Walter Reed, and saw the entire span of what we do as a Navy and Marine Corps team. And in that process, I realized how important technology, and probably more importantly, intellectual capacity and agility are going to matter to our people going forward. So everything that you do to contribute to that through the development of new and innovative ways of doing our jobs is so critical to their future. And it spanned from Marines I saw on the ground in the mud crawling around with boots to NCIS agents who sit behind computer screens and try and figure out ways to frustrate our adversaries all around the world, to the people providing medical care to our Marines and our sailors. So I want to thank everybody here who contributes to that mission, because as the world gets more and more complex and more complicated and unpredictable, we need that innovation, we need that intellectual agility. So it's my distinct privilege tonight to have the opportunity to award the 2020 SES recipient of the Stars and Stripes Award to Jimmy Smith. And I know Jimmy well because he worked directly for me when I was the undersecretary. He still sort of does, because I think I'm still that as well as my current job. But you never know. Each day I wake up and wonder what my job's going to be that day. But Jimmy is a great guy, and he's made outstanding contributions to the Navy and our Navy team. He's the director of the Department of the Navy Small Business Program, and he's my primary advisor on all those small business matters. And previous to that, he was the Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Navy for Expeditionary Programs and Logistics Management, and he delivered critical supply chain results for the warfighter's most urgent needs. He also spent time as the Director for Integrated Nuclear Weapons Safety and Security, where he was responsible for helping to secure nearly 70% of our nuclear arsenal. But what I love about Jimmy the most is when I ask him a question, he always just looks at me and smiles, does a little shake of, "Okay, sir, we'll see if we can figure that out." He's always willing to take the next step, to try and be innovative and really push the department forward. So again, it's my distinct pleasure on behalf of the Department of the Navy to present this award to Mr. Jimmy Smith.
right, so who wasn't motivated by the SecNav and the Commandant of the Marine Corps? All right, we're going to keep it naval. And so to present the United States Navy Stars and Stripes Award, please welcome to the stage the Director of Naval Reactor, Admiral Frank Caldwell.
Well, good evening. It is an absolute honor to be here tonight to celebrate all of our awardees. And tonight, as we honor the U.S. Navy's recipient of the Stars and Stripes Award, we also recognize those who paved the way for his success. Specifically, it's a trailblazing group that has become known as the Centennial Seven. These are the only African Americans to command U.S. Navy submarines in the 20th century. 4 of the 7 went on to become Navy admirals, including Admiral Tony Watson. Yeah, let's hear it. Admiral Mel Williams. Admiral Cecil Haney. And Admiral Bruce Grooms. Now, all of these gentlemen are here tonight, and I would ask that they please stand and be recognized. Phenomenal group of leaders. Others in this distinguished group include their shipmate, Captain Joe Peterson, who could not be here tonight, and Captain and also Dr. Will Bundy, a valued friend to many, the only African-American enlisted sailor to ever become a submarine skipper. Unfortunately, Will passed away last December. His wife, Jean, is here with us tonight. And special recognition goes to Captain Pete Toms, who was the very first African-American captain of a nuclear submarine. His wife, Carol, is with us here tonight also. In a small world story, I met Captain Toms when I was in elementary school. He served on the same ship as my father, the USS Pintado. It's an honor to be here tonight to mention his name. Jean and Carol, your husband's successes are a direct result of your love and support. On behalf of the United States Navy, thank you for your enduring examples and contributions to our submarine force. Our nation owes Captain Toms a debt of gratitude. So tonight we pay it forward, honoring the legacy that he left by recognizing the extraordinary performance of our next awardee. It is my honor to introduce the U.S. Navy recipient of the 2020 Stars and Stripes Award, Captain Mel R. Smith, accompanied by his spouse, Danielle. Mel is currently the Deputy Division Chief of Nuclear Policy on the Joint Staff J5, and he brings an exceptional resume of deep knowledge, at-sea experience, and superb leadership. Captain Smith served as Commanding Officer of USS Jimmy Carter, the most advanced submarine in our Navy and the singularly most prestigious assignment for any submarine commanding officer. In command, he led his crew and support teams, who are the best in the world, to accomplish undersea research and development operations that were critical to the United States and critically important to advancing our capabilities in the undersea domain. During his tenure on Jimmy Carter, the ship was twice recognized with the Battle Efficiency E, signifying the most capable, ready submarine in the squadron. Now, impressively, Mel has served at sea on 4 submarines. Every single one of them has earned the Battle Efficiency E, And I think that speaks volumes about Mel's phenomenal contributions throughout his naval career. Ladies and gentlemen, I am extremely proud to present this award to Captain Mel R. Smith.
Okay, to present our next award, please welcome to the stage Vice Chief of the Army, General Joseph Martin.
How y'all doing? So we got some Army up here now. Can we get a round of applause for the Army? So, my man Kyle Carter chose the Army. If there's any other youngsters out there aspiring to do so, want to be sporting a suit that looks like this, I know a guy that can help you out. So just let me know. So it's my honor tonight to be among such a tremendous group of leaders to recognize the importance of our youth pursuing STEM educational opportunities and enhancing diversity in our armed forces. I've got the distinct honor tonight to introduce the Army's recipient for the 2020 Stars and Stripes Award. Her name is Brigadier General Michelle Letcher. General Letcher was unable to be with us tonight, but I wanted to highlight her efforts to develop diversity in the workplace and her advocacy of STEM career opportunities, especially among unrepresented student populations through the Minority College Relations Program. As the commander of the Joint Munitions Command, General Letcher established a human capital plan to advance the spirit of diversity and inclusion in the workplace and further minority youth interest in pursuing careers in STEM. Through the Minority College Relations Program, General Letcher has spoken with students at historically black colleges and universities and minority institutions to express the importance of science and math and the opportunities to pursue STEM careers available within and alongside the United States Army. General Letcher places faith and trust in her people. She understands people will deliver the Army's readiness, modernization, and reform efforts. The United States Army is very proud of General Letcher's efforts to uphold the Army's commitment to people first. To accept the award on General Letcher's behalf, we've got Mr. Max Weich. He's an SES from the Army's Material Command. Max, can you come up on stage, please?
Okay. I find myself in the horns of an interesting dilemma. The Marine Corps is the featured service for the event, and the Vice Chief of the Army got a more motivating award, a more motivated crowd than the Marine Corps. So if this is a Marine Corps event, how about the Marines lay it on? Let's hear it, hoorah for the Marine Corps. Not only that, we've got a better looking uniform. Just saying. Okay, so here's another good opportunity. I mean, it is my honor, really an honor, to present the U.S. Air Force 2020 Stars and Stripes Award. I'd like to welcome to the stage General Marianne Miller, Fan.
Good evening, everyone. I am honored to introduce the United States Air Force recipient of the 2020 Stars and Stripes Award, Colonel Terrence Adams, as he walks to the stage, accompanied by his sister, Felicia Johnson. Colonel Adams, yeah, we could do that, right? So Colonel Terrence Adams is the commander of the 628th Air Base Wing and Joint Base Charleston in South Carolina. He's responsible for $7.5 billion in property and capital assets and controls an annual budget of $172 million. As host to over 60 Department of Defense and federal agencies, the wing provides installation support to a total force of over 90,000 airmen, sailors, soldiers, Marine, Coast Guardsmen, civilians, dependents, retirees across 4 installations, including Charleston Air Force Base and Naval Weapons Station, Charleston. In addition, the wing provides combat-ready expeditionary airmen to combat commanders in support of joint and combined operations worldwide. Previously, Colonel Adams has held a variety of positions at the squadron, group, wing, major command, air staff, and joint staff levels. I am proud to present this award to Colonel Terrence Adams.
Shift back to a maritime feel. So I'd like to welcome to the stage to present the next award is the 26th Commandant of the United States Coast Guard, Admiral Carl L. Schultz.
Well, good evening. It's my distinct honor and privilege to be here as a fellow Sea Service mate of the Commandant of the Marine Corps and Secretary Modley of the Navy. You know, I truly enjoyed the 10-second story about the difference between a good officer and bad officer. And as I'm walking up on the stage, Dave Berger says, "You got 10 seconds, Carl." So I'm not sure how to take that. But tonight it is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce our United States Coast Guard 2020 Stars and Stripes Award winner, and that is Captain Will Watson. Will is accompanied tonight by his lovely wife, Keisha, and as they walk to the stage, let me tell you just a little bit about this fine officer. While Will is shaping the hearts and minds of future Coast Guard leaders, Keisha is also doing the same for a little more malleable crowd. She's a kindergarten teacher, and they are just making a difference across society writ large. So Will Watson, about a quarter of a century Coast Guardsman. He is the Executive Officer, Deputy Commander is the title down in Coast Guard Sector New Orleans. That's probably one of our most complex, largest, and busiest sectors in the United States Coast Guard. They are at the convergence of where blue water meets brown water, the mouth of the Mississippi River. And Will is down there leading from the front. He has an extensive career in command cadre positions. He was previously the Marine Safety Unit Commander at Lake Charles, responsible for all Marine safety operations in Southwest Louisiana. No small job there. He's the Executive Officer of Marine Safety Unit Texas City. That's the ports of Freeport, Galveston, just a truly busy place. He was up in Cleveland as XO. In his non-operational assignments, he served as the Senior Military Assistant to 2 Secretaries of Homeland Security. We go back and we served together. He was my governmental affairs outreach guy in congressional affairs. What has me excited tonight is not just what Will has accomplished in just 24 plus years to date. It's really what Will's going to do for the future of the Coast Guard. He is the best of the best, and tonight I am truly honored and proud to present and assist the BEYA presenting this award to Captain Will Watson.
And I'm sure you're saying, how many more times is she going to come back out here? Or, let's go 2 more hours. But we're close. Not as close as I thought. So to present the next award, please welcome to the stage the 28th Chief of the National Guard Bureau, General Joseph Langle.
Okay, well, I'm thinking she's not going to come out too many more times because I'm the last one. Sitting back there grooving to some cool jazz, waiting for this thing to happen. So I've been to a lot of these dinners, as many of you have. I want to thank Dr. Taborn and the founders, Admiral Davis, for introducing this to me about 8 years ago. Nothing more important that we do than to be here and mentor and grow and recruit our nation's most valuable resource. And I'm proud to be part of it. I'm also happy to be here on Valentine's Day, like Secretary Maudley with my wife on our anniversary. And not just that. That's right. She's a great teammate, and we absolutely were looking forward to that herb-crusted chicken dinner tonight here at the event tonight. It never has let me down. And I am extremely honored tonight to introduce the 2020 Stars and Stripes Award winner. If I could please ask Brigadier General Cass Howard and her partner, her husband, Colonel John Howard, to please make their way to the stage. So General Howard serves as the Assistant for Mobilization and Reserve Affairs in the Office of the Secretary of Defense Health Affairs. She supports the Deputy Secretary of Defense for health readiness, policy, and oversight. And in this role, she's responsible for health affairs policy and oversight and advises the Director of Defense Health Affairs. She has joined the Wisconsin Air National Guard 31 years ago, a senior in high school, and she attended then Howard University, not far from here. She did. She graduated with a bachelor's degree in medical technology. She went on to medical school at the Medical College of Wisconsin in Milwaukee. And she completed her residency in both internal medicine and pediatrics at the University of Tennessee Health Science Center. Amazing. She has been a member of the Air National Guard for 31 years. In 2007, she became the commander of medical group for the 164th Wing, Tennessee National Guard, and then the state air surgeon for the Joint Forces Headquarters in the Tennessee National Guard Joint Force Headquarters. She is one of 800,000 reservists, guardsmen and reservists, that do that two-life thing. They live that part-time military, part-time civilian, most times civilian lifestyle. They have to balance two lives. They have to balance this, I'm going to go to war if they call me, and keep trained for that and do all of those things that we do as soldiers and airmen, sailors and Marines, and yet keep an employer happy and somehow maintain a professional career that many of them do. I'm enormously proud to represent the National Guard, 450,000 of them. She balances her military career. She's the vice president in her civilian life and chief medical officer for Methodist La Bonne Air German Hospital. And there she works with physicians and hospital administrators to make sure patients are receiving the absolute highest possible quality medical care. She's a mentor and a leader in her community, in her profession, and in her military career. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to bring to the stage Brigadier General Cass Howard and her husband, John.
This Valentine's Day card was created by Laura Nay Washington for BEYA's Stars and Stripes Dinner 2020, which happens to occur on Valentine's Day. Laura Nay is a student at Ballou High School. Stars and Stripes works with the principal, Dr. Willie Jackson, to bring the excitement and reward of science, technology, and engineering educations to Ballou students. Laura Nay created a traditional long stem rose Valentine's Day card, but it is also representative. You see the beautiful rose at the end of a hard, thorny, but rewarding STEM education. Perhaps the thorns are somewhat smoothed by Stars and Stripes STEM mentoring. Please welcome back to the stage General David H. Berger, accompanied by Vice Admiral Walter Davis, U.S. Navy retired, and General Johnny Wilson.
Congratulations, sir. Please. Well, congratulations for making this BEYA 2020 Stars and Stripes a victorious success. It is leadership like yours, sir, that reminds us that why we are proud and why it's vital for us to communicate what we stand for communicate to our young STEM students as they go forward in their careers. So thank you very much for that. Now we're going to hand it off to the person next year. Joan Berger, the mic's yours.
Do you want to say anything? Do you want to say anything, sir? Oh, no. Okay, got it. Admiral Davis, thank you, and General Wilson, both, please. This has been an honor for the United States Marine Corps to host it this year. And on behalf of all the Marines who put all the effort into it, thank you all for attending, and we look forward to seeing you again at next year's BEYA Stars and Stripe Dinner, which is on Friday, February the 12th, 2021. Not Valentine's Day. I know. Now, it's my pleasure to welcome back to the stage General Marianne Miller, behind me, the Commander of Air Mobility Command, Scott Air Base. General Miller, as our last official act and mine representing this year's BEYA Stars and Stripes featured service, it is my duty to hand off to next year's featured service, the United States Air Force. And we look forward to seeing you carry on this fine tradition. Have a great evening.
All right, see you here next year.